A few weeks ago, I spent quite an emotional day with our next speaker, delivering free school meal vouchers to families in East Sussex. It was both touching and rewarding to experience firsthand both the joy and relief provided to others in the region by McKay, Deputy Head Teacher at Grovelands Community Primary School in Hailsham. Michelle will be sharing some top tips and advice to all parents and carers who are now unexpectedly battling through early years and primary school home learning. I personally need every bit of help I can get, and I can't be alone. Can I?
Hi, my name is Michelle McKay. I'm Deputy Head Teacher at Grovelands Community Primary School in Hailsham. We are a large three-form entry primary and nursery school for children aged 2 to 11 years old. We have 700 pupils on roll, but currently we have 20 to 25 key worker and vulnerable children attending our schools daily during school closure. On the 18th of March, we were told our school would be closing to most of our children. We heard this news from the 5 p.m. government briefing at the same time as you. This gave us 2 days to prepare staff, children and their families from a very different term time routine, one of which was home learning. Silicon and Brighton have asked me to talk about home learning and what that entails. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share some helpful advice on skills and, of course, support their NHS fundraising. So, homework learning. Let us be clear on what you are being asked to do. I would take this clarity from the government guidance, supporting your children's education during the coronavirus. They state, while staying at home due to coronavirus, parents and carers may be worried about the children's development and the impact of missing school or nursery. No one expects parents to act as teachers or to provide the activities and feedback that a school or nursery would. Parents and carers should do their best to help children and support their learning while dealing with competing demands. This guidance makes it clear that you are not expected to be a teacher. Children have a very different relationship with their teacher as they do to their parent. A teacher has all the tools to hand in their classroom. Their lesson plans have the knowledge of what has been learnt before and what comes next in the curriculum. They also have their own teaching style, presence and personality that your child will be used to learning with. This is their learning environment. So what does home learning look like for you now? Are you in the flow? Does it feel great to work together? Are you thinking of a career change to teaching? Or is it non-existent or a negative, stressful, anxious experience that you do not want to embark on daily? I hope that for many of you it is working, but I understand this is not the easiest job in the world. I will share with you that many of my teacher colleagues are finding the challenges of learning at home and teaching their own children a very different experience. It was never their plan to home educate. Okay, so work provided by schools. What's been a challenge is we haven't had a chance for a trial run on this. As a school, we had to decide on a model of sharing home learning with our school community and go with it. Our school model has been to share resources and links from many of the schemes we already use at school that are now providing online learning, such as the White Rose Maths. This means that we are not introducing new formats to our children as they are already familiar to these from school. There is also an abundance of schemes online that are now easily accessible. My advice would be follow what the school is offering first. If you are unsure on what they have shared, get in contact with your school or with your teacher. And if you want additional resources, then limit the range. National statistics show 7% of homes have no Wi-Fi. For our families who do not have Wi-Fi access or access to a tablet, laptop or printer, we've created learning packs which we have either delivered or they can be collected from the school site while still working on social distancing. Okay, so one of the pieces set early on at our school was to create a mini topic around a subject of the child's choice. If they loved horses, they were encouraged to do a topic on horses. If skateboarding was their thing, they were encouraged to do a topic on skateboarding. The only rule was it had to be something they enjoyed working on. I was an early years practitioner for many years, and we always created a learning environment around a child-centred approach. I believe that you find your child's interest and smuggle the learning into it. With home learning, this might be the key to success. Now, remember that learning doesn't have to be a question and then answer. It doesn't have to be rote. It is so much more. Make it creative, make it kinesthetic, make it visual, make it a partnership. Overall, make it fun. I shared this post on my school's Facebook page last week, and the response was huge. Thank you, they wrote. I needed this. This is reassuring. I needed to see this today, one wrote. If it's not working, then change the way you are looking at the learning. Okay, so my top tips for home learning would be: make a plan for the day. Children are used to a flexible timetable at school, but don't try and replicate the school day. That would not be possible, but do set out key points. Reading, maths, play, very important. English, a walk, time in the garden, PE, online learning, TV. But get that balance between online and offline learning. Don't overload that screen time. Schedule in social time. They are missing their friends, so set up a Zoom call with them. Older ones will find this easier than younger ones. My advice would be that maybe arrange beforehand that children can show their friends something they've been working on, or they could both play with the same activity whilst on the call. And commit to a time to work with your child. Don't try to answer emails, Zoom calls, phone calls alongside the schoolwork. Give yourself over to them for that set amount of time. And do make a set amount of time. Set a timer, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. This will limit stress. Everyone is clear on the expectations then. You see it almost like a school bell, an actual beginning and end to lesson time. And be clear on the activity before you start it. Don't have any surprises through it. Give a bit of pre-reading time to the activity you plan to be doing with your child. This will help to know expectations of the outcome. There will be no surprises. You can find any information out or resources that you'll need before the learning begins. Keep it fun, make it positive. Otherwise, it will become stressful, tense, and a negative situation, and no learning will take place. And stop before the frustration sets in. See those triggers with your children. If it's turning into a less positive situation, then stop it. You can always come back to it. Time is on your side right now. And above all, read. This is the key to all learning. Make sure you take time to listen to your child read and you read to them. This can be anything, but make sure that it's daily. This can be books, magazines, comics. Just make sure that you read. So we are beginning to think about school, what school will look like for when we return and what curriculum will be needed. Our conversations have been particularly around mental health and well-being. This will be our main focus when we return to school. It's been a confusing and unsettling time for us all. I wanted to leave you with this post I blatantly stole from Facebook, but I cannot find fault in the message. Share your calm, share your strength, and share your laughter. Thank you for your time, and please stay safe.